A lot of retirees believe once they stop working, their biggest financial battle is over. But for millions of retirees, the real financial pressure actually begins after retirement, because some states are quietly becoming retirement wealth traps, not through one giant expense, but through rising property taxes, insurance spikes, healthcare costs, inflation, utility bills, and cost of living pressure that slowly drains retirement income year after year. And the scary part? A lot of retirees don't realize how expensive their state has become until retirement money starts disappearing faster than expected. That's why some retirees are now leaving certain states in record numbers, while other states are becoming retirement safe havens. In this video, we're breaking down 5 states quietly draining retiree wealth, 3 states protecting retirement income better, and the hidden retirement costs many people completely underestimate before they retire. Because retirement is not only about how much money you save, it's also about where you live while spending it. During working years, people often tolerate expensive states because jobs, salaries, and career opportunities offset higher costs. But retirement changes the math completely, because retirees usually shift from money accumulation to money preservation. That changes everything. Suddenly, taxes matter more, utilities matter more, healthcare costs matter more, housing costs matter more, insurance costs matter more, and small monthly expenses that once felt manageable during working years can become major retirement pressure over decades, especially during inflation. That's why location becomes one of the most underrated retirement decisions people make, because a retiree living in an expensive state may face higher taxes, higher insurance, higher food costs, higher energy costs, higher healthcare costs, and higher housing pressure simultaneously. And over 10 or 20 years, those differences can quietly drain enormous amounts of retirement wealth. California remains one of the most beautiful states in America, but financially, it has become extremely difficult for many retirees, especially retirees living primarily on fixed income. The biggest issue is not one single expense, it's the combination of expenses. Housing costs remain extremely high in many areas. Insurance costs continue rising. Utilities have become expensive. Gas prices are often among the highest in the country. And everyday living costs continue putting pressure on retirement budgets. Healthcare costs can also be substantial depending on the area. And inflation affects retirees particularly hard in high-cost states because basic expenses already start at elevated levels. That means retirees may need significantly larger withdrawals simply to maintain the same lifestyle. And over long retirements, that pressure compounds, especially during difficult market periods. New York and New Jersey face a similar retirement problem: high ongoing costs. Property taxes in some areas can become extremely aggressive for retirees, and many retirees underestimate how dangerous recurring annual expenses become during retirement. Because retirement is not only about surviving one expensive year, it's about surviving 20 or 30 expensive years. Heating costs, taxes, insurance, utilities, and healthcare expenses can slowly create enormous withdrawal pressure over time. That's especially dangerous for retirees withdrawing from investment portfolios during inflationary periods, because larger withdrawals during difficult markets can accelerate retirement depletion much faster than many people expect. And many retirees eventually realize their retirement lifestyle is costing more every single year. Illinois and Massachusetts also continue creating retirement affordability pressure for many households. Again, the issue is not necessarily one catastrophic expense. It's layered financial pressure, property taxes, healthcare costs, insurance, utilities, cost of living, winter energy bills, and retirees often underestimate how dangerous layered expenses become during long retirements. Because retirement math changes dramatically when inflation rises, living costs rise, healthcare rises, and retirement accounts experience volatility at the same time. That combination can quietly force retirees into larger withdrawals, reduced lifestyle flexibility, delayed travel, or increased financial stress later in retirement. This is why retirees across America are increasingly analyzing relocation much more seriously than previous generations. Now let's talk about the states attracting retirees instead, because some states are becoming significantly more retirement-friendly financially. 3 of the biggest retirement migration destinations today are Florida, Texas, and Tennessee. Why? Because retirees are often searching for lower taxes, lower overall living pressure, better retirement affordability, and more control over retirement spending. Florida remains especially attractive because of no state income tax, strong retiree infrastructure, warm climate, and large retirement communities. Texas continues attracting retirees because many areas still offer lower overall living costs compared to expensive coastal states. And Tennessee has also become increasingly popular because of its relatively lower tax burden and lower retirement living costs in many regions. Now, none of these states are perfect. Insurance costs in some areas are rising rapidly. Property taxes can still matter. Healthcare access varies by location. And inflation affects every state differently. But overall, many retirees feel these states give retirement income more breathing room. And breathing room matters enormously during retirement, because flexibility can help retirees handle inflation, market volatility, healthcare surprises, and economic uncertainty much more comfortably. The biggest retirement lesson here is not that everyone should suddenly move. It's that retirees need to understand how location affects long-term financial pressure, because retirement is no longer only about how much money did I save. Now the question is also, how expensive will my lifestyle become over the next 20 years? That is a completely different retirement conversation, especially during periods of inflation, rising insurance costs, healthcare inflation, and market volatility. And retirees who ignore long-term living costs may accidentally place enormous pressure on their retirement income later. That's why smart retirees increasingly focus on flexibility, affordability, lower fixed expenses, and protecting purchasing power, because retirement becomes much easier when monthly pressure is lower, withdrawals stay manageable, and living costs remain more predictable. That is what many retirees are really searching for today. Not luxury, stability. Some states quietly increase retirement pressure every single year. Others help retirees protect their income much more effectively. And understanding that difference could dramatically affect how long retirement savings actually last. Because retirement is not only about investment returns, it's also about controlling long-term living costs. Because the more prepared you are, the better retirement decisions you can make. If this video helped you better understand the hidden costs affecting retirees today, like and subscribe for more retirement planning, investing, inflation, and financial strategy content. I appreciate you watching my video. Thank you.